And so some of the other things that I think early on that helped us out a lot, because we were not sure that this is really what we wanted to do. I thought that we would do an oil field company. Going back to that time again, so we believe in the Lord, and kind of faith is a big part of our life. So with going back into that time, we were in a group, an entrepreneur group at the church that Mike was also in as well, and there's a few other people that were there. And it was really good to be in this group of like-minded people that are in business. And so we spent a lot of time in there talking to each other about the ideas and what we're doing for business and how we can be people of the kingdom of heaven within the business atmosphere. So we're not out trying to hit people over the head with the Bible, but how can we not use like religion and marketing, but how can we truly be religious in business type deal without using religion for the gain of the business, or without any of that, and not just being in the business, but having it to kind of go through some of our stuff too. So that was really a big time. In that, I think what we learned is, man, there's a lot of people around that have been through the same stuff that I'm going through right now. I was driving out to Pecos one day. This is while I was still in the oil field. Driving out to Pecos one day to go out and spend however long I was going to be out there babysitting a well. And I felt like the Lord had told me it's time to turn in my resignation letter. And that was crazy because I made really good money. And whenever I was driving out to Pecos, it was this, oh man, is this because I'm about to be away from my family and I'd rather be at home, so maybe this is me thinking this, or is this truly something that the Lord's kind of put on my heart? And long story short, I really believe that it was the Lord that was saying that. And so we ended up doing it when it didn't make sense. I thought at the time what we would do is start our own oil field company, doing the production testing and flow back and that side of it after the well's drilled, it's fracked, and it's making oil now. And that's kind of what I was saving money to do, is to be able to start that kind of a company up. And that's the reason that I was going to this entrepreneur group. And I think out of that's kind of when you started Venture Call, right?
Mm-hmm.
So all of those things are kind of going there. And then after I turned in the resignation letter, it was kind of one of those deals of, well, crud, now I've got to deal with this roof. Because now that I don't have a job, I can actually get one of these people to come fix our roof. We had, after the storm, there's the out-of-town companies, there's people, it was just an ugly thing, and I couldn't stand the way that I perceived the roofing industry to be. And we felt like we couldn't trust the people that came by the house, and whenever I don't trust somebody, I certainly don't want to give them the money to come and tear our roof off and do whatever it is. And we just bought the house in May of 14, and then less than a month later it gets hit with this hailstorm. And all of which is what started the roofing company. So that was definitely an interesting time there. But in there, I guess where I'm going with this part of it is, it was the people in the group that I was able to talk to and say, hey, this is what I'm thinking about. What do you think? And then Mike and several other people would be able to say, man, this sounds like a great idea, or you may want to think about this a little bit more. And so we just kind of would bounce the ideas off, and some of the biggest issues that we've had have been employee issues, dealing with how do you fire somebody. I didn't know any of this stuff. I mean, it was, and I still hate firing people, or whatever the problems are, but being able to talk to a group of men and women that had been through it And just to kind of have a sounding board was huge for us, I think.